Hello once again, everyone. Original Blood Ace back again, and it's been, well, actually not that long. I guess I did my Smash Bros. Update video the other day. Now, I haven't been doing a whole hell of a lot of videos lately. Mainly, there's been some I want to do, but I've just not been fucking motivated. It's weird. I'm like, oh, I should do these videos. I wanted to kind of do them, but then I'm just like, fuck, I just don't feel like it. I don't know what it is. I mean, it's lack of motivation, I suppose. But either way, today is a day where I am somewhat motivated to do one. So we're going to do my Arkham Knight review. And today itself is just going to be review day, unofficially review day, because I'm going to finally, after this video, I'm going to finally get around to doing the Splatoon review video and the Bayonetta 2 video review. So look out for those. But anyway, let's get into the Batman Arkham Knight review. So I finished it up on OBA Games like a week ago or so, maybe even a little more now, actually, now that I think about it. And of course, there's more DLC coming down the road, whatever, we won't be talking about that. It'll be same formula as always. We'll talk about the pros, we'll talk about the cons, and there's actually quite a bit of cons I have for this game after I listed them out. But let's just get into it. So, pros. The combat system right off the bat is as good as it's ever been. It's like the saying, don't fix what's not broken. It has good combat. It works for Batman. I don't know if, say they did a Superman game, I don't know if it would exactly work as good, or if it would feel as right, but I don't know. Either way, for Batman, for the Arkham games, combat is amazing. The story. Now, for the most part, it's a pro. It's a solid story for the most part, minus the ending, which I'll probably mention that later in my cons. Again, spoiler. But either way, if you haven't seen my whole series, or if you have seen my whole series, then you already know everything I'll be talking about anyway. So the next pro is, of course, how could I forget or leave out Mark Hamill returning as the Joker, or, doing his voice. That was a welcome surprise. They managed to keep that quite the secret from everyone. I mean, granted, I was right in the assumption that before the game came out, I thought Joker's death would play a heavy part on Batman, on Bruce Wayne. And I was absolutely right, like I almost always am. But still, it was nice to still have Mark Hamill come back for the role of the Joker, because you can't argue Mark Hamill is Joker. There is no two ways about it. The next pro is in the same vein, Kevin Conroy as Batman. There's nothing more to say other than, he's Batman. It's as simple as that. Scarecrow as the main villain, that's the next pro, which people are like, oh, without Joker, is Scarecrow going to be able to step it up? Is he going to be able to fill the shoes? Is he going to feel like a main threat? And I thought he did a pretty good job. The dialogue, the story with him, the story arc, all that stuff. It was well done for what it was. Would I have, ultimately said, oh, another Joker story would have been better? Yeah, probably, but that's just because I'm a bit of a bias, Batman fan, because Joker's my favorite character in the Batman universe. But, yeah. And then the last pro I have, which there's actually another one I should add in here, which is the music, which was pretty decent. But anyway, the CGI was well done, but then again, it's CGI. It's hard to fuck up CGI. If you have a game, a quote triple A blockbuster game with a huge budget, and you fuck up CGI, well, you've doomed yourself before you've even gotten out the door. So now let's get into the cons of Arkham Knight. And like I said, there is a bit of a list for me. Remember, this is all personal opinion. This is not like, written in stone fact, although there are some things here that some people will agree on. First of all, let's start with the elephant in the room, the Batmobile. Way overdone. Like 66% of the fucking game, two-thirds of the game, is Batmobile shit. It would have been nice if we actually got the Batmobile in the game, but instead, we didn't get the Batmobile. No, no, no. We got a tank, and which has like a machine gun turret thing on the top. Batman does not use guns. Simple as that. I did not like that. The next con, Riddler. Normally, I love the Riddler. I love all the bits of him in the Arkham games. But this time, incorporating the stupid Batmobile with his challenges, nay nay. I just say nay nay. Did not enjoy that. Next con, another bad guy, Slade / Deathstroke. What a failure of a boss battle. That's what it comes down to. An assassin who uses a tank. What? What kind of assassin uses a tank? Why did he have his sword on him? He's supposed to be... It should have been a hand-to-hand combat boss fight. But no, it wasn't. Instead, he's like, I'm an assassin. I was hired to take you out. Who hires an assassin to use a tank? Assassins are supposed to assassinate. You know, be stealthy, be sneaky, be, up close and personal and kill you. And no assassin uses a damn tank. And he even brings his sword inside the tank. He's got it on his belt. He jumps out afterwards and flies through the air with his sword. And then Batman just like, nope, tackled. And it's like, what a wasted fucking side mission. So, and I hate the name Deathstroke. Like, people are like, oh, Deathstroke's awesome. I'm like, nope, Slade is better. It's the same character. Slade is his real, name. Like, how Two-Face's real name is Harvey Dent. So, if you didn't know, Slade is his real name. Deathstroke is the name he calls himself as, a villain, a hired name. Like, oh, you want to hire Deathstroke? Okay. But anyway, the next con is they never had all three Robins together at once. Talk about a missed opportunity. In the end of the game with, Jason Todd, spoiler, Red Hood, or Arkham Knight coming to the rescue of Batman, and him and Tim Drake were there, but Nightwing just up and left. He's like, well, alright, see you, Bruce, have a good one, and then he never showed up again. I really was like, what the fuck? You should have had all three Robins together, but missed opportunity. The next con, which I just kind of touched on, which, spoiler, again, I already said it, but the Arkham Knight being none other than Jason Todd, a.k.a. Red Hood. That was just incredibly lazy from Rocksteady, and a horrible, horrible idea. This whole time they're like, oh, we've invented a new character, he's a new bad guy, you're never going to guess who he is. And I know a lot of people throughout the game, when they played it, they were like, oh, all the hints there point to Jason Todd. Maybe I was just delusional, maybe I was oblivious, maybe I was just... trying to talk myself out of it, but I didn't really catch on that it was going to be Jason Todd until almost right before he revealed it was Jason Todd. I was just like, they better not fucking do this. They better not fucking do this. And then they did. I mean, it sort of fucks up with the fucking storyline of Batman too, because Jason Todd dies from Joker, literally dies. We're not talking Arkham Knight's story here, because of Ra's al Ghul, if you watched Under the Red Hood movie. Ra's al Ghul revives Jason Todd's dead body, brings him back, he becomes Red Hood. Now in Arkham Knight, he also becomes Red Hood in the DLC, but at the same time, how can that be possible? The timeline doesn't match up. There's no way to make it work. Because if he was Red Hood in the past, after he was dead and brought back, then Batman would have already known, oh my god, Jason, you're alive! But then in Arkham Knight, Joker's all, I never said I actually killed Jason, which he actually does. So, it's like, is this like a separate universe that's going on here? Or something with Arkham Knight? Because how can he die, come back as Red Hood, and then later die and come back as Arkham Knight? Or if you want to try and flip it around, how could he die, fake die, come back as Arkham Knight, and then, die again and come back as Red Hood? It just doesn't fucking work. It doesn't make sense. Arkham Knight should have been some new character. Hell, it could have even been Hush. That would have been fine. But, whatever. Next con, Season Pass. Big ripoff. Did I buy it? Yes, because I'm a fucking idiot. And because it's Batman. So, yeah. The next con is missing bad guys, missing villains. Where was Ra's al Ghul? Where was Mr. Freeze, who's one of my favorites? Where's Killer Croc? Now, granted, there, was Easter eggs in the game of, Riddler trophies talking about Killer Croc and whatnot. But that's not good enough. Where was Mad Hatter? Where was Solomon Grundy? Again, there was a little Easter egg of him. Where was fucking Calendar Man? He was even in Arkham City. They're trying to make it the biggest Batman game yet. It's the grand conclusion of Rocksteady's games. All the bad guys are after Batman, and then you're missing, half a dozen of the best ones. And I get it, you might do DLC, which is actually, I guess, being done by Warner Bros., which is why the DLC itself hasn't actually been as good as the game, even though the game itself wasn't perfect. But anyway, so this last con here, another spoiler, again, but if you've seen my playthrough on OBA games, then you already know what I'm going to be talking about. Otherwise, just, fast forward the video or mute the video for the next, 10 seconds. Either way, spoiler, the game's ending. The world finding out that Batman was Bruce Wayne. I Hated that, disliked it so much. I understand why, but I'm like, ugh, that just rubs me the wrong way. And also the Joker being forgotten, in quotation marks there, in Bruce's mind. I find that insulting to the Joker. Just like the Batman could be like, well, okay, I forgive myself for you dying. I'm going to move on with my life. I forget about you, Joker. I don't like that. I just don't. But anyway, so let's wrap this up with an overall summary here. Arkham Knight is a good game for any Batman fan. There's no doubt about it. However, as far as the Rocksteady trilogy, Asylum, City, Knight, for me personally, that's the key word there, personally, it falls short of the second game, Arkham City. So for me, I would have to give Arkham Knight a 7 out of 10, which is not a bad score. But while I gave Arkham City a 9 out of 10 and Arkham Asylum an 8 out of 10, so for me, Arkham Knight is the weakest of the three games. Arkham City is the best in my opinion, Arkham Asylum the second best, and then Arkham Knight in third. All really good games, but if there's going to be a best, there's got to be a worst. So, it's sad, but it's the way I see it, it's the way I feel. But that's my review, 7 out of 10 for Arkham Knight. And I guess as always, stay tuned, more videos coming soon. We'll see you then.